Welcome everybody to Witch in the City. My name is Laura Daligan, and in this week's episode we're going to be looking at the most important aspect of paganism and Wicca, and that is the worship of the goddess. Now, the concept of the goddess may seem a little bit strange to people that haven't been involved with paganism, Wicca and other goddess religions. However, the goddess is old as the earth itself, if not older. The concept of the goddess is found in the earliest of cave paintings and sculptures, and there is evidence of goddess worship going back thousands, if not millions of years. So even though the goddess has been repressed in the recent history, believe me, she's been there, she's always been there, and she's not going anywhere. Thankfully, in a society as it is right now, we're in a more welcoming society where we are more free to express our spirituality. And this is why this video exists and this is why I want to look at the concept of the goddess, because the concept of the goddess is massive. In a shell of nuts, the goddess is the earth, the fertile earth. She is Gaia. She is the flowers that blossom, the fruits from a tree. She is the fertility of the earth and the abundance of the earth. The goddess is the moon. The goddess is the stars in the sky. The ancient Egyptians had the goddess Nui, N-U-I-T, who was the sky goddess, the star goddess. In Welsh mythology, you've got Arianrhod, who is the star goddess. So you've got the beautiful energy of the sun, of the stars, of the earth. There's also sun goddesses as well, though that's mainly the realm of the god, which we're talking about in later episodes. By the way, Wiccans and pagans definitely worship the god as well. The goddess and the god are equally as important, but that's because the goddess is the main aspect of Wicca, because we need to address the goddess because the femininity in society is lacking a little bit. We're going to look at the goddess energy first, and then we're going to look at the god in a later episode. Anyway, ladies first. So we've got goddesses of the earth, goddesses of the moon, goddesses of the stars, goddesses of the ocean. There's goddesses for everything. Now, the Romans had goddesses for sacred wells, sacred groves, so literally even a small area of a country could have hundreds of local deities. But what we're going to look at today is individual goddesses from around the world. Now, many pagans and witches see the goddesses or the facets of the goddess as part of one goddess. Some see each individual goddess as being an individual goddess. That's completely your own choice, what you believe or what you feel. We're going to look today at goddesses from Egypt, from Ireland, from Greece, starting, I feel, with the Morrigan, who is an Irish goddess of battle, of sex, a feisty woman. You may think, why are we starting with her? Well, the Morrigan came to me, first of all, in a meditation a few years ago. The meditation wasn't about her. The meditation was completely about another deity. And she came to me like, you're coming with me. And I was like, okay. So, as you do. And so this goddess has been very important to me for many years. Here's a painting that I have done of her. Here we go. Her animal, her totem animal, is particularly crows. So crows and ravens, and also cows, but crows and ravens are very much linked to the Morrigan. The colours red and black are also linked to the Morrigan. And she is one to be called upon in times where you need the strength, in times when you need to be maybe a warrior in your own right. And she is feisty and she is strong, so she's an amazing energy to work with. Also, other goddesses that are favourites of mine are Bast, yay, cat goddess. We can see, if you can see, on my arm the tattoo of Bast that I have. This makes me a certified cat slave. Yes, it does. Now, the goddess Bast goes back thousands and thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians venerated cats. In fact, if you killed a cat accidentally or on purpose, it was punishable by death. So that's how important cats were to the ancient Egyptians. The goddess Bast or Bastet as she is known, had her own temple complex at Bubastis in Egypt. She is a goddess of many things actually, like Cat, she's a mystery. Some call her a solar goddess, some call her a lunar goddess. She's a goddess of fertility because cats are very fertile creatures. She's a goddess of mysteries, she's a goddess of love, but that kind of love that a cat gives. She's a goddess of magic and friendship and family. Another Egyptian goddess is Sekhmet, a lioness-headed goddess, who is the more feisty counterpart of Bast. Sekhmet is known to avenge the pharaoh and avenge for the gods. She is capable of being quite aggressive, but she's also known for her healing abilities as well. And in this modern age, Sekhmet is looked at in a similar way to Morrigan, really, for that confidence, for the power, for the strength, for the way a lioness will hunt her prey, that kind of energy. And there's many statues of Sekhmet and of Bast at the British Museum in London if you're ever in the area, and it's really worth having a look, as well as obviously going to Egypt and seeing them, of course. Other goddesses that are very, very important to Wiccans and to me are Isis. Hope you've heard of Isis. She is an Egyptian goddess, the forerunner for Mary. She is the mother. She is the wife. She is the magician. She is the priestess. She is a protectress. These wings here can protect you. She's also known to use his wings to fly across the country looking for her husband as well when he was in distress, or rather when he was chopped up into lots of pieces by his enemy, but that's another story. Another famous goddess that you may well have heard of is Aphrodite, the goddess of love. She's the Greek goddess of love. Aphrodite, born from the foam of a wave. She's an amazing energy to work with, of course, for love, for romance, but also for sensuality within yourself, for self-love, for working on any issues of confidence and to unleash your femininity, also to unleash your ability to love as well. She's very flirtatious energy, so very fun to work with, and a beautiful and ancient archaic goddess. So there is lovely Aphrodite. We'll be looking more at the individual goddesses in further episodes. This is just a little taster of some of the goddesses of the world. Last but not least, we have here the Greek goddess Artemis. Now, I mentioned earlier about goddesses of the moon. Artemis is one of those goddesses. She's related to the moon. She's also known as a huntress. You see here, the goddess of the hunt. She's got her arrows on her back, but she's also stroking the animal there by her side. So it's interesting. She's also a patroness and protectress of animals. So yeah, it's interesting to look at. She is known as the Virgin Goddess, which means she didn't get married. She was an independent woman. So often a goddess taken on by women to promote their strength and independence. Also a patroness of childbirth. So she was there with women when they gave birth. Very complex, as all goddesses are. You can't just sum them up in a few words. It's really worth researching Artemis, the Morrigan, all of the goddesses that I've talked about today and more, because it's really interesting to look at their complex histories and mythologies. To look at the goddess in a more open way, we see the goddess in three phases: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Almost like new moon for the maiden, full moon for the mother, and dark moon for the crone. Or springtime for the maiden, summer for the mother, and winter for the crone. So there's goddesses for all these seasons, and that can help you in all parts of your life. If you're needing to start afresh in your life, the maiden is wonderful to invoke. If it's time for abundance, for nurturing, for maybe for motherhood in your life, the mother aspect of the goddess, the full moon aspect of the goddess, is worth looking at. And for those times when the year turns dark and we go inwards, we look at the crone aspect, who is a goddess of wisdom, who imparts knowledge and who helps us deal with passing over and death. However, in paganism and Wicca, death is part of life and something not to be feared. So there are goddesses for pretty much everything. Every country and every mythology has its own history and fabric and framework of goddesses, and I hope you enjoy learning about them, discovering them, and meeting them. Thank you for watching this week's Witch in the City. If you have any questions, any ideas or thoughts, please write them in the comment box below. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and also like it, share it on Facebook and tell your friends. Until next time, see you later.